talk or walk through?
Yeah, walk through. Yeah,
Good.
good.
Okay, so just finished the home inspection. Not too bad. There is some stuff to address for sure. So we'll start with the roof. The roof is a gravel roof. You do have solar panels up there. They are flashed properly. The gravel, there's a few bare spots up there, so you probably want to get a roofer just to level out or even out the gravel. And there's a couple soft spots because in the eaves, the outer edge right up underneath, some of the boards are loose, so they just need to be reinforced. I think there was 4 total, so not a whole bunch, but a few. There's also some dry rot and termite damage in the eaves and fascia board, but the termite guy was here too, so you'll get that full report from him. Electrical has been updated at the home, so you have 100 amps. The only thing I do recommend, the panel is not labeled, so highly recommend just getting in there and labeling the panel. As far as the kitchen, where we're at right now, all the appliances are working just fine. So the oven preheated to 350. The cooktop burners are good. The microwave works. The dishwasher behind you works. Just missing the one mounting screw up underneath on the right side, so pretty easy. No leaks under the sink. You can see the faucet is pretty stiff to turn, right, to swivel. Chances are it's probably just a gasket that has like a wrinkle in it, because you can see there's some water leaking from here as well. It should be a pretty easy fix because the faucet doesn't appear to be that old. Underneath, again, there was no active leaks. The garbage disposal is a little bit older, but it does work off of that switch there. You can also see they've updated all the electrical in here to GFCIs. That's required in and around the water source, and those are working properly. So you have them here in the kitchen as well as in the bathrooms, right? So that's good. For the most part, the cabinets, there's a few loose hinges on the doors, right? But that's easy to fix. But, the drawers are opening and closing. They got the soft close feature on there, which is good. Some of the cabinets need a little bit of adjusting, right? But that's minor cosmetic type stuff. We can go into the converted garage here. So just keep in mind with a garage slab, it's a separate pour from any kind of house foundation or slab. And this probably isn't the best type of flooring to put in here because it's starting to buckle in a couple spots because these aren't perfectly level, right? So you can kind of see the gaps under the baseboards over here. In this corner specifically, you can see there's quite a bit of movement to the floor, right? So these seams at here at any point could just buckle and snap on you. So now, keep in mind, if you put furniture in here, I don't know if you plan on converting it back or using it as a room, if you put weight on the flooring, it'll probably last a little while for you before it actually starts to buckle. But you can see some of the seams, like with the light from the outside, how they're starting to peel and starting to lift a little bit. All your outlets in here are properly grounded. The windows in the house have been updated to dual pane, so that's really good. You will see a couple pictures in my report. A couple windows on the exterior just need a little bit of silicone or caulking, as well as on the inside of some of the windows, just around the windowsills, right? It's just sealing everything up so no moisture gets in. Ceiling fan works, but yeah, it's a garage, so essentially not too bad. You got your laundry hookups in here. It is a gas connection for the dryer. The gas valve is right back over here. So there's shelving in here, pretty straightforward with the laundry room. New tile floor. We can go out this back door to the patio. Now you're probably going to want to change this door out to an exterior rated door. Because right now that one's an interior hollow door, right? So you just want to replace that. So you can see the window unit here is working really good. It does seem to cool off the living room and kitchen pretty well. That's your access to your crawl space. So I just got out from underneath the home. So the foundation walls actually look really good. So this house is not on pillars and posts. What they do is they have an outer stem wall or foundation wall, and then a center foundation support wall down the middle. So
what's with all the cracks on the?
Yeah, so
it's just
settling
earthquake?
Cracks in the stucco. And also with a home this age, if you look at the bottom of the exterior wall, see how it goes right to the ground? If moisture gets behind there, there's no way for the moisture to get out. So in new construction, they leave about a 6 to 8 foot or 8 inch from the ground, and they put what's called weep screen at the bottom of the stucco wall. So if moisture gets behind the stucco, it has a place to drain out. In older homes, you get some cracking, moisture gets down in there, it has nowhere to go. So you're seeing more cracking in the stucco.
Oh,
now, it's not super excessive. On the front of the home, there's a couple spots, on the converted garage. they definitely need to be repaired. And these types of cracks here, you know, you can repair, right? You can get a stucco guy out here, a good handyman. They can fill it with an epoxy just to keep, you know, excess moisture from getting under there.
Cool.
One thing about the underneath of the home, the middle or hallway bathroom plumbing, right? There's evidence of a leak from in there. And what it was is they cut off a piece of the ABC pipe and they didn't cap it or dead end it. So when water is running down the sink, it's just dumping under the house. So a plumber needs to get under there and cap it off properly. The good thing is all your plumbing under the home has been updated to ABS or plastic. It does tie into old cast iron right at the front of the house to the street. And I did a sewer scan, and I did it from a back bathroom vent on the roof so I could get the whole entire house. And all the ABS is good until it hits that cast iron. And what's happened is a bunch of scale is built up on the inside of the pipe. So it's now from a 4-inch, it's now about a 2.5-inch. So, but the good thing is I didn't see any root penetration. I didn't see any bellying, you know, where two pipes get offset. So get a good hydroblast company out here, hydroblast that line to the street, and it should be good. So that's good. This would be an example of some of the damage up in the eaves. You can see a little bit of moisture damage where the plywood's starting to crack a little bit. You know, not overly excessive, so you should be all right. New concrete patio, right? Back here on the wall is a good example of the more cracking damage from the stucco. It's like a horizontal crack that kind of goes the length of the patio. And again, as that water settles in the bottom of that wall, it has nowhere to go, it causes some cracking. So this is one window where, you know, good example, it needs to be sealed up with some silicone, but that's easy, weekend job. You do have good gutters on the home, and they're full, clear of debris. So there's no like leaves or anything in there, which is good. No vegetation around the house. Your water pressure was at the higher end, but it's still within parameters. We want to see 40 to 80, so I tested it here on this back hose bib. It's about 79 or 80, so it's at the top end, but not dangerously high, which is good. The gutter system over here is tied into like a barrel to kind of save the water. They've also done a little bit of makeshift. They had tied like a sprinkler line into that downspout, but it's all been kind of dead-ended, so you probably want to either just extend that out away from the foundation so the rainwater drains away, but yeah, pretty self-explanatory. There's a storage shed on the side of the house here, so we can walk around that side to the electrical panel and the gas meter, and I can show you that. Now this all back here, you know, this little retaining wall is leaning a bit. You can see they put some cinder blocks there. You know, there's no drainage or anything on this hill, but all that vegetation is kind of holding everything in place. The wooden fence, you know, there's a couple spots where it's leaning, but it is a neighborly fence, so, you know, you maybe work that out with your neighbors to get it repaired or replaced at some point. This here is your water heater. So it is a 2013 40-gallon. On the outside, they do take a little bit of a beating, but it's okay. It still functions properly. The flue venting is intact. There's no major corrosion on the water lines. Belly straps are tight. The only thing it's missing is what we call a sediment trap. It's a very common discrepancy on water heaters, and it's a little $7 part that goes on the gas line. Pretty easy to install. So like probably where the garage door used to be, you can see the stucco seam. It's got a little bit of damage there. You got a little bit of a, I don't know if somebody ran into the wall, right? You know, but those can all be repaired. So all these green caps you see in your front lawn, that goes to the sprinkler system that used to be in place. You know, I was thinking it might have been a dual clean out to the street, but it's not. You do have a city clean out right here on the sidewalk. That's new. You can tell they've redone the concrete pretty much in front of all the homes in the neighborhood. So that's really good. They've changed out probably that main line to the street that the city owns. The main water shutoff is right here on the front of the home. So main water shutoff is here. This is the old little pressure regulator. It is a little bit corroded, so don't be surprised in, you know, a year or so you probably have to change this out. It's just older. About $250 to get it installed by a plumber, so not super expensive. a little bit more of the cracking and the damage in the stucco, but not too bad. Electrical panel is right over here. Yep, so I did not find any old wiring in the home, so it's a newer Eaton panel. You can see 100 amp main breaker. This is what I meant about like no labeling. All your solar connections are here. I did take the dead front cover off. It looks good inside, right? There was a little bit of webbing and a spider, got rid of that, but one wire per breaker, nothing's double tapped. So that's really good that they updated this for you. Now, keep in mind, in older homes like this, in most of the bedrooms, there was only 2 outlets, and that's pretty much what they left for you too. So there isn't like 1 on each wall, there's like 2, just to let you know. Gas meter here, and then the shut off is right here. So this is all good. Took a gas sniffer to it. There's no gas leaks or anything. As far as the vents for the crawl space, you can see some of them have some gaps. You probably want to seal that up just to keep critters out. The good thing is, outside of just spiders and some webbing under the home, I didn't see any like rat droppings or critters or anything under there. So that's pretty good. We can go inside. More of the cracking stucco here, so a little bit of settling in the home. The ground here in this area of town is very soft. Like when I was climbing under, it's like a soft sand. So when it gets wet, it almost turns into like a clay. So it does settle quite a bit. So these cracks you're seeing in the stucco are pretty common. Again, outlets in here all properly grounded. This wood flooring here is actually in good shape. In the kitchen, there's a couple spots. You can see it's separating a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of separation there. And then these 2 here, right? A little bit of separation. And what it was, like under the cabinets, they didn't do any kind of finishing trim to kind of hold everything in place. So any movement, right, those probably slid apart. They can be repaired. Ceiling fans are good. You do have one burnt out can light here right above the front door. So you have 2 wall heaters in the home. You got one here in the hallway and then the one in the living room. They're Williams wall heaters. These 2 heaters, if you have them running together, will completely heat this home. You leave the bedroom doors open, these things work like a champ. They cover about 1,000 square feet each. Yeah, so the pilot lights are not lit on them, right, being summertime, and that's outside the scope of my inspection. But when you're ready to use them, just call SDG&E, and they'll come out and light the pilot lights for free for you. So yeah, those should work just fine. They appear to be newer units. Now, I just want to point out some of the outlets and light switches when they install them, you know, there's like gaps in the switch, so you probably want to get a good handyman in here and just fix these up. Good carbon monoxide in the home. You got good smoke detectors in each one of the bedrooms. So laminate flooring in the bedrooms. I did not find any that was buckling or separating in the bedrooms, which is good. You can see they brought cable TV up through the floor from underneath. The only thing I probably would do is get some silicone and seal, right? Just gonna keep ants and stuff out, but pretty easy. You got good center lights in all the rooms, right? The outlets here. See how there's no outlet there? That's kind of what I was referring to. So you got one on each large wall, but nothing there. Windows, again, all been updated in dual pane. One thing I just want to point out with these locking mechanisms, they are known as like a high fail item. Just it's a little piece of plastic. Very easy to replace though, and you can order these on Amazon. So if it does break, easy to replace. So, but the newer closet doors, they're all on the track properly, right? So they're opening and closing the way they should. All your shelving is installed properly. You can see some of the drywall seams, not so much in this bedroom, but the master. You know, the tape lines, again, as the home is settled, or after they install the drywall, if it's expanded and retracted at all, you get little hairline cracks. Again, pretty common. You can see here, this is a good example, one like by the light. It's right on that tape line. It's a real straight line. So if you get a good painter in here, they can Bondo it. It's a real thick putty, and that'll help that. But yeah, rooms are good size. No real concerns with them. As far as the bathrooms, good exhaust fan in this hallway bathroom. The toilets are both nice and tight, so that means the wax rings are still good. Definitely need to seal up the edge of the tub. You can see newer drywall, but they just didn't seal those seams. Same with the base, right? Needs some silicone. Now, sinks, tubs, everything's draining a little slow, and that has to do with that scale that's in the main sewer line out by the street. If you blow all that stuff out, it's really going to help the flow of everything. And with these type of stoppers, these pop down, pop up ones, they have a really fat gasket underneath, and that can slow the flow as well. So you might think about just going back to the little quarter turn drop down, because those don't block any flow. So typically I'll pull those out and everything drains out nicely, and that was the case here, right? So probably change that out. New windows, shower head sealed, filled the tub, you know, about halfway. You know, it's pretty straightforward. Did not find any moisture in any walls, under sinks, around toilets, tubs, so that's good. And a good GFCI in there. In here again, you can see the minor settling crack along the seam. Good outlets on both these far walls. Closet's good in this bathroom. There is some cracking in the floor, right? So you can see the tiles have cracked, right? So I don't know if they just didn't put any of that little backer board underneath, but again, there's no movement in the tiles, so they're not like shifting around, but something to definitely monitor over time. If they do start to move, you probably have to get them replaced. Very similar as the tub in the other bathroom, like the edge of this shower needs to be sealed, the base needs to be sealed. But
Is the pipe under this bathroom that's leaking?
it's under that hallway bathroom. Yeah, good question. Yeah, the faucet's updated. You know, it's a little tight turning, right? And again, it might be that gasket in there. It's got a little wrinkle in it, so just pop that off and fix the gasket. But yeah, new window, good GFCI. And then this cabinet drawer needs some adjusting, right? You can see it kind of pulls out on that side, but no active leaks under the sink, no moisture anywhere. And again, this sink drains very slowly. So you can see it doesn't quite shut all the way. But I think there's no attic because it's a vaulted ceiling, right? So it's a very shallow, not a super sloped roof, which is okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll have the full written report over to you tomorrow, late afternoon, early evening time frame. So if you've got questions, please just give me a call.
Cool, thanks.